we're going to look at factoring trinomials. This is a task that you will engage in many times when you work with polynomials. And I want to start with reviewing multiplication. The basic form of a trinomial, or the general form, is some constant a times variable x squared plus bx plus c. We can get there if we multiply two binomials. So let's just review that. If we have something like x minus 3 times x plus 5, we can FOIL that out, and our first is going to be x squared. Outside will be 5x. Inside, minus 3x. And last will be a minus 15. When we simplify that, we'll simply have x squared plus 2x minus 15. Now, if we compare that to the general pattern, this a is a 1, so we have a 1 out in front of this x squared. The b is a 2, and the c is negative 15. What we are going to do is notice a pattern in this little exercise. When we're factoring, we're trying to undo the multiplication. So what our task is that we're heading for is getting something like this. I'll leave the 1 outside the box. And trying to get back to this. We need to undo our FOIL. If we look at what we ended up with here, you'll notice that the negative 3 times the 5 gave us a negative 15. And if we took negative 3 plus 5, that would give us a positive 2. So when we look at the coefficient we have in front of the x, it corresponds to the letter b in the general pattern. We've got some kind of addition going on to get us that coefficient. And when we look at the constant term, we have some kind of multiplication going on to get us that. And you notice that we're using the same two numbers. It's just in one case we multiply, and in the other case we add. So what we're looking at in this pattern is that the negative 3 and the 5 are factors of 15. Or rather of negative 15. And that the sum of those factors is the coefficient of the middle term, is that b. I'll put the b in quotes there. Now, we're going to use this pattern that we see here in order to undo this FOIL, to factor. And what I want to do is just step through some examples of increasing complexity. We'll start simple and make it more interesting, to show you the method that we'll use. There is more than one way to go at breaking down this process, and I'm going to choose a method where we just add a little structure by making a table. Okay, let's take a look at another example, which will actually be very similar to the last one. We'll factor the trinomial x squared plus 7x plus 12. Now, I'm going to, first of all, make this product sum table so that we can work out this pattern we talked about. And I will abbreviate that prod sum. And we have to decide what product we're looking for. Well, the product is going to be the constant term, which is 12, times the coefficient of x squared. Remember, out in front of x squared, we have this 1 hidden. So we have 12 times 1 leaving us with a product of 12. I'll just write that here. And go ahead in your table and write the product beneath this word. Write the actual number down. Well, we're looking then for factors of 12 that add to the coefficient of our middle term, which is 7. So again, write the number down. So you're reminded the product is 12, the sum is 7. And many of you can probably see right away what digits we're after, but let's go through a few just to see how the table works. Let's try 1 times 12. Well, certainly that multiplies to 12. But if we add up those factors, 1 plus 12, we get 13. That's not the sum we're looking for, so gets the big no. Let's try then 2 times 6. Again, that multiplies to 12, so that's a good candidate. But when we add 2 plus 6, we get 8. This is close, but no cigar. It's not the one we're looking for. So again, it gets the big no. Well, we can also try 3 times 4. If we add up those factors, 3 plus 4 does indeed equal 7. So these are the factors that we're interested in. Now, in this special case where we just have plain old x squared, I'll rewrite the original trinomial here. Since we just have 1x squared, we can go right to the factored form. We know that we're going to have x plus something times x plus something else. Those somethings are the 3 and the 4 that we found in our product sum table. So what we'll do is we'll write x plus 3 times x plus 4. This is our solution. What we need to do next is, of course, check it. And of course, you're already in the habit of checking all of your work. This one we will check with FOIL. When we multiply out x plus 3 and x plus 4, or times x plus 4, we should get back our original trinomial. So first will be x squared plus outside 4x plus inside 3x plus the last. 3 times 4 is 12. And when we simplify that, we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. This does indeed match our original polynomial, so it checks out, and we found the correct factored form. That is the end of this example.